Some people don't lose friends, they just stop trying to make any. Not because they suddenly hate people, but because somewhere along the way, connection started feeling heavy. You stop replying, you stop showing up, you stop pretending you're interested in conversations that drain you. And before you know it, the group chats go silent, the invitations stop coming, and your phone becomes a small museum of names that used to matter. You tell yourself you're fine. You even start to believe it, because peace and loneliness can wear the same face. And sometimes you can't tell which one you're looking at. It doesn't happen overnight. There's no big argument, no betrayal, just a slow fading, like colors losing their brightness after too much light. One day you realize you've become a background character in other people's stories, and honestly, you don't mind. There's a strange comfort in invisibility, in not having to explain your silences, your moods, your distance. You get to exist without performance. You get to breathe without pretending, and that feels pure. You start valuing energy like it's currency, because every conversation feels like an investment, and not everyone gives you a return. You've seen people who smile at you one day and talk about you the next. You've watched friendships dissolve over tiny misunderstandings and promises break without reason. So, now you're careful, selective, distant, not cold, just tired. Tired of being the one who reaches out. Tired of decoding mixed signals. Tired of giving without being seen. And eventually you realize, maybe it's easier this way. Maybe peace is found not in more people, but in fewer expectations. There's something brutally honest about being alone. When the noise fades, you start hearing the things you've been avoiding. The echo of your own thoughts. The small ache of being unseen. The strange comfort of having no one to impress. You start learning yourself in ways you never could in a crowd. What makes you calm? What drains you? What you actually believe, when no one's there to agree or disagree. Somewhere in that silence, you begin to see that maybe solitude isn't a punishment. Maybe it's a classroom. And maybe being friendless isn't failure. It's just the space where you finally meet yourself. Still, there's a reason behind the distance. You didn't wake up one day and decide to stop trusting. You learned it. Slowly. Through moments that didn't seem important at the time. A secret shared and twisted. A friendship that faded when you needed it most. A person who promised forever, but left quietly in the middle of the storm. Those moments teach you, not to hate, not to isolate, but to self-protect. So you build a quiet world around yourself, not made of walls, but of boundaries. You tell yourself it's independence, and maybe it is, but deep down you know, it's also fear wearing the mask of strength. We live in an age of constant connection, notifications, followers, updates, the illusion of closeness. Yet somehow, it's never been harder to feel understood. Everyone's talking, no one's listening, everyone's watching, no one's seeing, and the more we share, the more invisible we feel. It's a strange paradox. The world tells you to put yourself out there, but the moment you do, you start to feel like a product instead of a person. So some people simply step away. They stop posting, stop performing, stop chasing friendship that feels more like competition. They choose quiet instead of noise, depth instead of display, reality instead of recognition. And society calls them loners. But maybe they're just free. When you spend enough time alone, you stop craving constant validation. You learn how to comfort yourself. You learn how to sit through an emotion without running from it. You stop needing constant company. because you realize some of the loneliest moments happen in crowded rooms. You begin to notice small details, the way sunlight lands on your table, the stillness before sleep, the sound of your own breath when the world quiets down. It's simple, it's calm, it's enough. And in that stillness, you start feeling something unexpected. Gratitude, not for others, but for the fact that you've survived every season alone and still found beauty in it. Of course, there are nights when it hits harder. The silence feels louder. You scroll past people laughing together, and something inside you whispers, "Maybe I'm missing out." But the truth is, you're just human. We all need connection, even the ones who claim they don't. That quiet ache in your chest, it's not weakness. It's a reminder that your heart still wants to be seen. And maybe one day it will be by someone who doesn't demand your performance, who doesn't mistake your stillness for indifference, who understands that your solitude was never arrogance. It was healing. You start realizing, not everyone who's surrounded by friends feels connected, and not everyone who's alone feels lonely. There's a difference between isolation and peace, between avoidance and acceptance, between escaping people and outgrowing them. Sometimes being friendless isn't a rejection of the world, it's an alignment with yourself. When you stop trying to fit into circles that drain you, you start creating your own gravity. And eventually, the right people, the ones who speak the same quiet language, they find you, not because you searched for them, but because your peace became a signal. So no, not having friends doesn't mean you're broken. It means you're between versions of yourself. You're shedding old patterns, outgrowing old energies, and finding comfort in your own presence. You're learning that solitude can be sacred, a space to rebuild what the world once drained. And yes, there will be moments when you miss the laughter, the late night calls, the warmth of belonging. But maybe right now, you're not supposed to belong to others. You're supposed to belong to yourself. One day, you'll look back and realize, this season of being friendless wasn't emptiness. It was a pause, a reset, a quiet reminder that your worth was never meant to depend on who stayed or who left. You'll meet new people, eventually, but it will be different, softer, more honest. You won't chase friendship out of loneliness anymore. You'll choose it out of peace. And when that happens, you'll understand something most never do, that sometimes solitude isn't the absence of connection. It's the preparation for it. So, if your life feels quiet right now, if you eat alone, walk alone, live inside your thoughts, don't rush to fix it. Not all silence is sadness. Not all distance is loss. Sometimes, being friendless is how the soul remembers what it feels like to be whole on its own.